All right, so we'll do this, and we'll do that, and we'll do this, and we'll do that, and we'll make. Are we live? Yeah, we are live. Hey, good morning. It is 10:03. Monday morning boogie with Monday morning caffeine is somewhere live on a radio or a internet device near you. And the eminent return of the genealogist of the stars. That's Facebook members and anybody else who can find Randy. Randy Rhodes is back with us.
Hey, folks.
I promised that I wouldn't get loud because my daughter-in-law
Okay.
is working in her office on the other side of the rice paper here, and I didn't want to disturb her. So
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Hey, it is what it is. That this is things we have to accommodations we have to make when we have our studios in our houses. It's like if I keep my office door closed tight, our cats want to be with daddy, and they'll be out there scratching the door, right? And that just drives me nuts. So I open up the door just wide enough for them to come in, and uh, then my wife, she'll walk past the doorway, or you'll catch her. The accommodations of working out of your house aren't always what they should be.
I think they're 100% of what they should be, and I've always said that only because you know you got the big boys and girls who have hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars they can spend on studios, and they don't have any of the technical problems that we might have come up on a broadcast. And even when they do, you never see it, and they're just perfect, and they don't have to worry about stuff like that. Then you have the guys like us who show that I forgot to charge a tablet, which is why it died in the middle of the broadcast. And that's just the way it is. Or
Do do.
we ran out of internet, or our internet crashed. We've had that happen before. The funniest one was I had the internet crash one night, and it wouldn't let me log back into StreamYard on my phone or on another tablet. So the guy said, "Well, that broadcast is going to go for about 6 hours, and then it's going to end." And I don't remember if I left it there or not. I was going through. I guess you only get so much free storage space on the $25 a month package with StreamYard. Then you got to thumbnail everything off and then start saving them again. So I was looking at that and trying to get an idea of what is there because I really didn't want to buy more space. I just have to thumbnail
Yeah.
off
I,
what is
I've, I've
there.
I've been contemplating, going with a higher package on StreamYard, but right now with my infrequency of doing my own broadcasts, it almost doesn't make sense for me spending with 35, $40, $50 for the higher packages, get the extra cameras when it's just normally just me. Um, so what I have now works fine. Uh, I hate the Facebook version of it because I have not yet found how to share the damn screen using Facebook's broadcast because when you first log in and you're setting it up and you're giving it the title and describing what you're going to be talking about, there is a screen share button there. So,
Yep.
but when you go live, that screen share function goes away. You can't share the screen. You can share the screen from the very get go, but then you can't. I've yet to find how to get back to just regular, live. You're seeing me and you're not seeing what I'm
Yep.
presenting. So that's just a
The
pain in the ass. I just don't have the time or the patience to figure it out. So I just use StreamYard and I'm a happy guy.
the only problem that I tell people with Facebook Live Producer is that when you get spanked by Facebook and it says you can't go live, that's what it means. You can't use Facebook Live Producer. Uh, if it's really bad, what it means is you can't use anything because if you have StreamYard like we do, cut they just cut your link with StreamYard until they feel like putting it back, and that's just the that's just the for lack of a better, that's the cross we have to bear. I've always hoped, although it's never come to fruition, I've always hoped that I would get involved with a group of broadcasters and we would all just say, hey, let's either chip in together for a better plan on StreamYard. And, I'd probably be the one who would say that I'll up to the $45 plan, $50 plan. That covers what everybody wants to do. Then everybody's welcome to use it. If you throw me a little bit to pay for it, that's great. If you don't, then you don't have access to it anymore. But nobody wants to do that these days. Everybody wants to have their own so that when they sit down in their studio and they turn it all on, they're ready to go and not have to worry about anybody else. But anyway, more exciting things to talk about. We are live on the Dave Boogie profile here on Facebook. We will be live shortly in 1 million Facebook groups. And we are live on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel. We are live on at Boogie WT Bull, the X Boogie with the Bull account. If you follow me there, you can watch it. There's no live chat on the YouTube channel. And on Facebook, if you're on my profile, there is a live chat that you can choose to take part in or not. I'm just so happy that Randy Rhoads is back today that I just don't. I'm winging my script this morning.
Yeah, there you go.
So
hey, I'm looking at the news feed. There's all kinds of stuff happening in our world as we speak. I think one of the biggest ones that we need to be concerned about is Russia and the mindset of its leader. I mean, at least he has a mind. Ours doesn't. I'm going to segue over to a different topic right now, but I'm going to come back to the Russian thing. But I saw the video of Barack Obama having to help guide the commander in chief, the leader of the free world, off of the stage to his handlers because he did not know what to do. He froze on the stage, and Barack Obama had to help him by guiding him by holding his arm and walking him across the stage to hand him off to his handlers. So, we have a guy who is going to be in charge if we ever go to war with Russia or anybody else, and this guy just can't even find his way off a stage. How is he going to find himself to a successful solution of a war conflict? So then you have Putin, who seems to have a clear mind, but he has to be pissed because as I'm looking at all the various news organizations showing how much he has lost as far as armor, his navy, his manpower. I mean, he's getting his ass kicked, and
he is.
it's not because Ukraine is a better country. It's that Ukraine has better weapons right now because they're getting the shit from us. And for our asshole leader to sign a 10-year commitment to provide military weapons to Ukraine only does one thing, and that is to make the people who own the weapons factories richer because they're guaranteed at least 10 years worth of ongoing business with Ukraine. Because, I'm looking at here, it says Ukraine destroys over 1,000 Russian tanks in just a couple of days. Now, 1,000 tanks. Take aside the men who are inside those tanks when they blow up and incinerate them. But just think of the cost of each tank that now has to be replaced. these aren't your World War II type tanks. These are, our modern day tanks. And because of the weaponry that we're giving Ukraine, they're destroying a lot of armor.
They
Um,
are.
now, the same can be said for Russia against Ukraine. Ukraine's getting their asses kicked as well. So it's kind of like, uh, I remember this movie about was it the Trojans, where they were trying to protect their homeland against the invaders. And
I Spartacus.
what?
I'm Spartacus.
It might be. It's where
No,
there's like
I was
six.
teasing.
There's like starts out with like a couple thousand of these soldiers against multiple thousands of the enemy, and their shields and you got their spears and swords, and they're holding their ground, and they hold off the first attack. That they lose a lot of soldiers, but as they're working their way back upside the damn side of the mountain, they're losing more and more people, but they're holding their ground against the enemy until finally there's only 600 of them, and they're totally surrounded, and they die a terrible death. Obviously, we have Hollywood portraying the death of these soldiers, but when to show the leader of these people, I mean, he got the worst of it. But it's sort of like, Russia and Ukraine, they're losing virtually the same amount of manpower and weaponry on a daily basis. So they're staying even. Um, I don't know what's going to bring it to an end. Now you got Russia, bringing their ships into off our shore of Florida, which should concern you. Do you have your desk ready, Dave, so you can hide underneath your desk because of the nuclear attack that's going to take place?
Uh, no. And my bigger fear isn't so much that I will die in whatever military action the Biden administration or the Democrats take us into. It's more that they will look at me and see what I do and what I do on the internet and all, and torture me until I agree to do it for them, or just or just feed me whatever they're going to feed me and treat me really good until the one day I wake up and realize that I'm not doing boogie with the bull anymore. I'm doing boogie with Bolsheviks. And
Do you remember as a child, back in the Cuban Missile Crisis, as a child
yeah,
happened to you're
well,
in school and you had to go through the nuclear air raid attack
I I
scenarios?
remember I remember that, but it was a little more sensitive because from sixth grade through college, I lived in what I affectionately call Silicon Job Valley, and you could put a dot a half an inch, which showed which would be within a half a mile of what was probably known targets. We had a building at Moffett Field, a blue cube that said United States Naval Satellite Test Center, I think. And we grew up understanding, no, that's just where they test them before they fire them up into space. And the reality was, no, that time, that's where they were controlling them from. So we kind of learned that that was a target.
Mm.
Most of Silicon Valley, because of making technology and computer chips, was a target. Uh, uh, you know, uh, so so pretty quickly, I got to the point where I could look and go, it doesn't matter if they drop a warhead on this school and I'm sitting under my desk. All that's going to happen is I'm not going to feel when the ceiling hits the top of the desk. So,
Yeah.
so uh, my bigger fear would be being the only one who lives through it.
Mm. last
because
man standing.
last man standing. I'm becoming more and more dependent for reasons that people know about, but more and more dependent on my wife and my family. And one of my alarms to take my meds will go off, and I won't be able to find my wife, and I won't take my meds, and I'll think I'll die.
Gotcha.
But so those things. Or I'll sit down and set up and do a broadcast, but there won't be anybody here to hear it. But anyway, you know, I did read briefly before we went live that Putin either is getting ready to or has planned meetings with North Korea, and that frightens me. If the meetings haven't happened yet, or even if they have started happening yet, because unless Putin knows something we don't, and there's a guarantee that President Trump is going to be back in the White House, then I don't know why. Well, I do know why a military partnership between Putin and North Korea would bother me, because I think that Putin has either gotten to the point, or maybe even beyond it, where it's just time to go after whatever allies Biden thinks he has, and be ready to turn them against us should he need to do so. It's scary. I mean, reading today, it sounds like it's a ceasefire. I didn't read it too far in depth, but Netanyahu is disbanding the Israeli war cabinet, which means that maybe he's finally decided that they have to get along there. The only thing that I can hope is that what happens in the next Israeli government elections is that Hamas is removed, and the Israeli Knesset, their Congress, understands that they have to work with the Palestinians, or else life over there is going to get worse. And it's been getting worse for hundreds of years anyway, but it's time for everybody to get along, or at least try to get along as best as they can.
Yeah, we actually better start getting along pretty soon, because with the number, what the hell? I'm looking at a video here. Hold on a second. What the hell is when this happened? I'm looking at a
What
video.
The Hell Live. Good morning, welcome to What the Hell Live with Randy Rhodes.
U.S. submarine hits an aircraft carrier. Oh, this is recent.
One of ours. I hope they didn't hit one of ours.
U.S. submarine hits aircraft carrier. So what's going on? Let's do the damn video. No, it's an 18-minute video. I can't watch that. Anyways, but yeah, I've been considering doing a broadcast on my own about flying saucers and aliens from another world.
I think you should do it.
A friend of mine, name not being mentioned, but same name as yours, has given me.
Same name. Wait a minute. A friend of yours, the same name as mine.
Yeah.
Is it me? I told you that I would be very interested, or thought I said I would be very interested in doing it. But if it's a serious broadcast, we all know me right now. I tend to get sarcastical at times.
No, this is gonna be a damn serious broadcast, because it's not gonna be joking. It's not gonna be making fun of.
Right.
Dave Noby provided me, I won't tell you how, a whole bunch of, and he has a lot more to give me, videos and transcripts of contact with UFOs and alien beings and so forth. Now, cool. I also know that Michael Anthony, he has a huge library of that kind of stuff.
He's done shows and shows and shows.
Yeah, so my only concern be going up against Tim, because he he is a very intelligent person, and
Okay.
his library of wealth of knowledge far exceeds mine. So mine's gonna be like more like an amateur kind of scenario. But it's kind of weird as I
Don't
started.
don't 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 cut yourself short like that.
Okay,
It's time. If you think that you can produce a broadcast that people will watch and get information from, then you do it, and you do it to the best of your ability. Because the problem is that one of the people that you named there uh, made it clear to me and others recently that he's not available. So it's the Boogie with the Bull School of Broadcasting was to find the people that had the knowledge and bring those people to a broadcast and have a discussion with them and anybody watching. And one by one, uh,
yeah, that's
people
something
either
that
have their
yeah.
own lives and can't do it. So you step up and do it.
Yeah, he might be willing to help me and direct me
Okay,
into his.
good.
But even with what little bit I have been accumulating,
Okay,
obviously I got to find a way to edit down the videos to snippets. But all of a sudden, all my browser feed is all about aliens and UFOs and flying saucers. So it's scary to think that someone's watching me prepare for these broadcasts, knowing full well that that they're watching me, and I'm dead serious.
but
My,
okay, I'm
my
confused with who would be
well,
watching you.
it's whoever controls the airwaves. All of a
Okay,
sudden they see Randy. He's doing research on UFOs and flying saucers, and all of a sudden, all my four browsers, the news feed is showing me stuff about UFOs and videos of aliens, and
yep.
and it's almost like they're watching. Hey, here's some information for use. And
Well,
it's scary to think that there's
the
someone who's actually watching and seeing what I'm
well,
doing. Uh,
well, the algorithms are watching us all anyway, and,
yeah,
and they're especially with the main network that we're on right
yeah,
now. They watch us. They they get they get the podcast as soon as we're done, and they will decide who they want
yeah,
to see it and
yeah,
who they don't. And I'm kind of just at 62 years old, I've kind of gotten to the point where I've just said, I don't care anymore. Uh, Facebook, you can't I can't spend the rest of my life getting up every morning going. I'm worried about if I do something on Facebook, they're going to make sure that nobody else sees it on Facebook or whatever, because then you just get up every morning and you spend more time away from worrying about Facebook and people on Facebook seeing it, and you tell them that you got a YouTube channel, and as long as you have the YouTube channel, you send it there. JJ McCartney was the master of that. He got up every morning and turned his studio on, let it warmed up, made a pot of coffee, and did some pre-production for his broadcast, and then spent like 6 hours sending the YouTube link to like 500 groups on Facebook. And he just did it every morning, and then he went to other places. And then once he got his website up, he sent it. He sent it there, and it's a hard thing to do. But if you got something you think people want to see, or you got a broadcast that you think people should listen to, that's that's what you have to do. I was in a conversation with someone the other day, and I said, if there were 200 destinations that I wanted Boogie with the Bull on, and I could actually get it on them. If I can't get them all linked through StreamYard, then it's just too hard to do right now. I want to be able to fire up StreamYard, send out the invites, come on, and we're live wherever we are. And if it's 200 places, then God love us, we're on 200 places. Uh, but like I said, if you think you have a broadcast on any topic, then you just go and do it. And if the people who do those broadcasts professionally or have done a lot of them want to, they will contact you and say, hey, I'd like to be part of it. And if they don't, then, you just go and do it. I mean, to me, that's what it is. Uh, we're losing views in the sense of the morning broadcast, except for Friday, because Friday is a specialized broadcast, Friday morning. But Monday and Wednesday, we're losing views in the morning, and I'm getting to the point where I think I may push Tuesday and Thursday, because Tuesday and Thursday's views are still, they're not anything great by Facebook standards, but they're doubling and they're tripling all the time. So that's maybe what we do and direct our efforts there. And then, like I said, I've never been one who worry about doing the research on a broadcast, because Robin, the executive producer, would hand me what the topics were, who the guests were, when they would be on the phone or when they'd be in the studio, and what we were going to do, and it was all pre-planned. I sat down and got handed a ream of paper every night, and so I fell into that. But now it's it's still easier to fall back on that and go find the people who have the knowledge and bring them on and let them share the knowledge and moderate a few people. And I'm not insulted if I have to do that. Some people say to me, hey, you're giving up control of your show. No, I'm not. I never had that control of the show anyway. We bring Jen on. We talk about homeschooling. We bring William Rayfield on from the Patriots Lab Uncensored, and we talk about whatever. We bring you on and we talk about genealogy. That I am learning that we can't just stay focused on conservative patriot politics for an hour, hour and a half or more every day. We have to start. I've told people, and I've described it probably in a way that I shouldn't, but Tuesday and Thursday Night Live, 7 p.m. here on Facebook and YouTube and on my X profile. We stole that from someone else because it's a highly successful idea. They got a bunch of people that talk about the politics of the day, and then they wrap that around things that people want to hear, and that's what we do. So I guess what I'm trying to say in my demented mind this morning as I suck caffeine down is that you never back down from something you want to do, and you don't worry about the other people on Facebook who do it, or the other people on YouTube, or the other people who take their YouTubes and post it all over social media. If you want to do a UFO broadcast that you want on 200 social media networks, my best advice to you is to find 20 people. Well, you can't do it because, I don't know how many people you can have on the $50 a month package. I don't know how many people you can have on your broadcast, and I don't know how many destinations you can have. But I also know that you can link everybody's StreamYards together. So if you want to be on 100 destinations, then you find people who have StreamYard that can link to you and put you on 100 destinations, and that you just do what you want to do, and you don't worry about the other people. Because if those people, like you mentioned, really want to be a part of it, they'll come into your live chat and they'll do the same thing that you did when Michael Anthony and I were hosting morning broadcasts. You type paragraph comments into the live chat that, if you're not going to at least highlight my comments and read them and make me involved, then why would I come here and continue watching? What did we do? We brought you aboard. And I still think that was the best decision. I'm not knocking. I still think it was the best decision the best decision that, in the case of my broadcast, that we ever did, because that's how you find people who want to be a part of it. I've come to a point where I don't care what another broadcaster cares about something that I'm going to do or the information that I'm going to present on it, because anybody's welcome to come and be a part of it if they really want to. I just joke that I'm generally the sarcastic moderator, live producer when I have a panel, because, like I said, I like to bring people who know what they're talking about and have the research, and we can just up and go. And then the only thing I do is I make sure we highlight the people watching and read good morning from William Rayfield to you and I or anyone else who is watching. I did, unfortunately, Monday and Wednesday are seen to lose views for the last couple of weeks, while Tuesday and Thursday night are gaining views. And unfortunately, I don't want to do, and I can't do 5 nights a week. I want to do 5 nights a week, but when we come up with a topic, we just go and do it. Anyway, talk.
Can I talk now?
You can talk now.
I didn't want to interrupt the host of the show.
No, you're allowed to interrupt me. You're allowed to interrupt me just as if you were talking and William or someone else was on, I'd stop you and tell them to talk. So please interrupt me.
Okay, so going back to the reason why I'm, if I'm going to do anything besides my genealogy stuff, the UFOs, aliens, is that so much is happening in today's world, and it's not just some poppycock guy with a frisbee thrown in the air and someone's taking a video of it. I mean, these are people who are in positions of power. They're military personnel. They're commercial airline pilots. They're jet fighter pilots. They're police officers. They're military personnel on the ground, all very well known in their field, and obviously are not some kind of flake, wanting some attention, to talk about flying saucers. Right now, Alaska, for the past several days, including today, is having all kinds of activity with multiple flying saucers being detected and being sighted by many different people across Alaska, and they're taking video of these spacecraft.
I saw a picture. Sorry that I cut you off, but I saw a picture and it concerned me. It looked like some kind of U.S. battleship was way out away from shore, and a Russian submarine was slowly coming up closer to shore.
Yeah.
And we hear every day that they're up in Alaska.
Well, yeah. Well, there's actually.
I don't know if they dock. I don't know if they dock and get off at night, but they're up there.
It might be. You might. The video you're talking about the Russian submarine. It actually is, we're 90 miles from Cuba, and here's this damn Russian submarine surfacing, and the guy taking the video has like a handheld pistol, and he's like pointing at the Russian submarine like he's going to shoot the submarine. I mean, in that respect, an attack from Russia is a lot more imminent than an attack from alien creatures. But there's video, military video of back in when nuclear weapons were starting to become a thing of coming to the forefront of people's knowledge, where these flying saucers were over several military bases where we house our nuclear missiles, and they have video of these ships, alien spaceships, shooting down a beam of light into the silo of the nuclear missile, not to destroy it, like physically destroy it, but somehow they're able to remove the capability of that missile from being fired. So if we had to go to war and launch that missile, we couldn't because they messed with the capabilities of it. Um, it's almost like they don't want us to blow ourselves up. But there's so much going on uh, uh, across our country, across the world, where more and more proof of alien life. Harvard University, that the professors are talking about. You know, they've been living amongst us. They're finding out more things about the pyramids. So I think there's enough, obviously enough content there, and I'm going to try it. I'm going to put my do my due diligence and put my full effort into it, and try and get some video that I can share without getting burnt for copyright protection problems. Um, but I think I'm going to try what you do is like the video you've seen was for entertainment purposes only. And see if I can get away with
Yeah,
that way. But I know poor William. I mean, he's nailed it with Facebook trying to share stuff now. He's having all kinds of issues getting his content out there. That's why he hasn't been, on a regular basis doing his shows. Michael the same way. I mean, uh, uh, he has a much larger audience than what we do, but he's been nailed for stepping on people's toes with video and so forth. So that's why he has all his different broadcasts that he's doing. But when you look across our world
yeah,
and see what's going on, uh, we have so much. Uh, we don't know what's going to happen today. Let alone this hour, this minute. Um, so I've been doing my little 15-minute broadcasts in the morning in my backyard, and today I did one before I came on here, and it essentially was, if you have a family, you love your family because you don't know what's going to happen uh, to us, to our country, um, where we're going to uh, not be here, or we're going to have a nuclear attack, an alien attack, or whatever circumstances. But if you have a family, show them some love because you may not have the opportunity to do it, tomorrow.
yep.
And Father's Day hit me pretty hard. I don't know what you did anything special for Father's Day, but my son, he went to the shore with his wife and his kids, and the step parents. So they went to the shore for the entire week, which must be nice. But he does make a ton of money. He works for Comcast, selling.
Oh, your favorite people.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he worked for Comcast from home, selling cell phones to businesses, and
Wouldn't that have been the perfect Father's Day present for you? Someone inside of Comcast who could actually help you.
well, yeah, I do have that way into Comcast, bypassing all the non-verbal employees that Comcast seems to be hiring lately. So if I have something that needs to be looked into, I reach out to someone who has the connection to look into my account and see what's going on, and vice versa. I mean, he's gotten some things through me that he wanted. And my son, God, he knows how to make the damn deal. She got $1,000 cell phone for free. Um, because she had a coupon. He found a coupon. He knew that I have my own business, and although I don't need it, he was able to work the deal where he got that cell phone through me for absolutely nothing. Um, so I said to him, I said, "Well, Chris, Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday, and enjoy that gift for the next 10 years because what you're gonna get from me." But yeah, he got $1,000 phone for free.
Cool, cool,
Mm.
cool. I do want to say that I guess we tried an experiment this morning and it is working. We took the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel and we embedded it onto a post in the Street Lock news feed. And if you click on it, you get redirected to the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel. And you can be in the Boogie with the Bull YouTube live chat. We are live on Wimton, and we tried to do the same thing, and unfortunately, it didn't work. It did not work. So you can watch on Wimton on my Wimton profile this morning, but you cannot cannot be in the live chat. So
Hmm.
just
So,
just letting people know. Just letting people know.
so do you have a doctor's appointment today that you got to end at 11 o'clock?
I have physical therapy
Ah, that's right, physical
every week,
therapy.
and usually occupational therapy as well. And then I don't know. I have so many appointments that I have to.
What
I
what
have.
what what if I may ask on the show? What's your physical therapy for? What was it?
I
Muscular,
have.
like arms or legs or something?
I have something called Lewy body dementia, which I just tell people I have dementia because it's harder to explain to them. I have something called Lewy body dementia, and what it normally is, it's a form of dementia that usually either Alzheimer's or Parkinson's comes can come through with it. Mine is Parkinson's, and because at some point it's possible that I could become bedridden before I go, uh, starting a life of occupational and physical therapy will make it easier for me to want to do that rather than just be bedridden. I've made it very clear. I've said to Donna several times, if I ever end up in a home or whatever, wherever it is, uh, I if I can't get out of bed, I keep doing therapy in bed forever. As long as I can get out of bed, they will drag me kicking and screaming down the hall to physical therapy and occupational therapy as often as they need to. I don't look forward to days in a wheelchair. I might use a walker if I have to. I don't. I'm not that far. Uh, what scares me and what has always scared me about the Lewy body dementia is that if you read the books, it says 5 to 7 years and you're done.
Hmm.
Uh, my first neurologist said no, uh, 20 years, and the last 5 years you know, will be whatever it's going to be, or it could be wrong. The oldest person, meaning not oldest in age, but the oldest person to get it had it, and he had it for 20 years. He got it
Oh
in his
wow.
60s. He got it in his 60s, right around the same age I am, and he passed away at 82. But he didn't pass away from the dementia or the Alzheimer's or Parkinson's, whatever he might have brought with him. He just passed away from old age. So it's possible that Robin Williams had it also, but
Yeah.
Robin Williams, God rest his soul, left a note that said he did not want to be a burden on his family, and that's why he is no longer with us. Dave Glovin
Well,
will not.
well,
Dave Glovin will not leave a note for his family only because there are some members of my family that if I did such a thing would be upset that they didn't get the last word with me. Not my wife, because my wife always gets the last word with me, whether or not I listen to it a lot. I have dementia.
but
but no,
uh,
I love my little
yeah,
sister dearly, but my little
uh,
sister has
yeah.
earned a nickname in the family as Barracuda because when she bites into something, she will go and she will do whatever she thinks she has to do
Oh, Barracuda.
for that person.
You ever,
But
you
if
ever,
I but if I pull the Robin Williams, my fear would be looking down that my sister would be upset that she didn't get a chance to do whatever she thought she needed to do, or as I say, get the last word in. So I have they asked me also because I'm bipolar, so they asked me at my monthly, 3 monthly, whatever exams with my psychiatry team. Uh, do I have any desires to off myself? And it's always
oh
no.
my God.
Do you have any desire to off anybody else? No. But I mean, I have a mental illness, and every once in a while, I'm sure the thought might go through my mind that if Randy Rose doesn't show up, But no, I don't have any desire to hurt myself or hurt anybody else. Change the subject. Did I lose your mic, Randy? Oh, you're holding something up. What are you holding up?
Can't you hear that?
You what?
That's Barracuda.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. The song Barracuda. But,
Yeah, but I have when I had my COVID, I was in the hospital and they ran some tests. They found something that they wanted me to do a follow up, but they found this whatever on my kidney, I guess, or bladder. I forget which one, but I just don't without having transportation. I guess I gotta bite the bullet and pay to have someone take me so I can get the CAT scan done. But there's some concern about what might be lurking there that they found over from me having COVID. But it is what it is.
COVID to me, it will. I get. I mean, I see red every time I hear COVID to the point where a long time ago I stopped calling COVID 19 or typing COVID 19 because I got in trouble every time I typed it on Facebook. I started calling it JoeBid 21. JoeBid 21, if you look at COVID 19, because then you can say things on a broadcast that you can't type into a live chat. Worst comes to worst, YouTube or Facebook says no, and they take the broadcast away. COVID 19, as far as I'm concerned, was not created to be anything less than a biological weapon.
Yeah.
If you go back and you read, well, you can't read it in 2018 on Facebook anymore because most of those articles were taken down. But if you go back and you read it at the beginning, it was and is a plan to depopulate the world by I don't know how many people because the wealthy elites are concerned that we're using too much of their stuff, and they want to be here forever. But you know what? If that's what they want, more power to
them. Yeah.
It just there's some stuff that's just comical in my head every day. It used to be when I first sat down at night to do the 10 o'clock radio show, I would look at the headlines and I would go, are we really talking about this kind of stuff? I mean, we can bring Tony Fauci to the House. We can bring Tony Fauci to the Senate. The man is not going to tell you anything that we need to know. The man is not going to tell Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene how much of the $700 million in royalties that went to the departments of health and whatever else. I mean, the National Institutes of Health and whatever else that Fauci was running at the time. He's not going to tell you how much money he made. He's not going to tell you the stocks that he's holding in all the pharmaceutical companies. He's not, So, as far as I'm concerned, for what he did, his crimes against humanity, throw him in jail. Yeah. And his wife too, because she knows most of what he knows.
Yeah, but look at the good.
And in my case, you throw him in jail, and you throw him in jail until he decides to talk. But anyway, go ahead, Randy. I'm sorry.
Look at the governor of New York. I mean, with him, putting COVID-19 positive patients into the nursing homes, causing the death of thousands of elderly people. He knew what the hell he was doing. Right. He was doing his job to kill off a portion of our.
At the same time, he was putting them into public hospitals and telling public hospitals that private hospitals that I guess listened to him, if they died they died. You know, put on the reports they died from some kind of involvement with COVID. You know, they might have got in because they had a heart attack and they stayed in the hospital, but if they died during the COVID lockdown scare, they died from COVID, or else the insurance companies weren't going to pay you. You know, and I just,
Yeah,
you know,
because
I just,
they got paid more money if they put down that person died from COVID.
yep. My last speech in oral communications in high school, I had to take it again as a senior because I didn't pass it. As a sophomore, you're supposed to take and pass it because I just had no desire to stand up in front of a room full of people and talk. Was a classic takeoff on George Carlin, and it was things that if you thought about these things, you wouldn't do them, like sour cream. You know, if you thought about sour cream and you bought a thing of cream and you put it out in the sun and you let it go sour and you drank it or eat it, you die. But a farmer can take it and control the souring of it, and it's a health food. But my favorite one was insurance. Like, you know, if you knew that you weren't going to need it, then why would you buy it?
Yeah.
You know, if you could drive a car and you were sure that you'd never have an accident, then why would you spend hundreds or thousands of dollars a year for car insurance? You know, house insurance, property insurance, having that. Yeah, I can see that, because if your next door neighbor's house blows up and takes your house with it, then you need to be able to rebuild your home or move somewhere where you have neighbors who don't blow up their houses. Anyway, you were talking about government UFOs and all this stuff. I watched a video over the weekend of a guy who I guess at one time was a big shot in the military. I forget where, but he was talking about how pilots got into it. It was a training flight for pilots going between, I forget what base he said, and Area 51. And they weren't acknowledging over the radio that they were going to Area 51 because they didn't want people to know that that's where they were flying to, but everybody knew that's where they were flying to anyway. And somewhere along the way, they have video, because the type of plane it was at the time could record video, it could record audio, it could take still pictures. So they had all of the stuff that they were sending to whoever at the towers and at the bases that were monitoring this particular flight, and it shows this round disc UFO, flying around the plane, doing spins around it, not getting close enough that they could crash, but evidently they acknowledged that the UFO, although no one was speaking, was on the same frequencies as the plane was, so they could have communicated with each other. But it was clear, they're guessing, that the UFO understood that if necessary, the plane was going to blow it out of the sky. But it did its, like I said, it did its barrel rolls around it, not close enough to hurt it. It flew above it, it flew below it, it flew on both sides of it. Probably waved at the pilot of the plane and then left. And when they never went public with what the pilot saw, the pilot was allowed to talk about it. Then I guess eventually the pilot retired from the service, and one day somebody asked him and he told them what was going on. But I've been a firm believer, and I've said it on broadcast before, that Hollywood has a tendency to do movies 5 years before they want us to understand something that's really going on that our government is doing. So they start the Star Wars movie, and we understand that there's life out in space, not just us. The one that took place in Devil's Tower, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. That they're actually landing here, dropping people off and picking up more people and going wherever they go. until the next time they come back. So I believe that they're here and they've been here for a while. You know, there's that scene in one of the Men in Black movies that I keep talking about. The resident alien is looking into this bank of hundreds of little 1-inch monitors that are. And Will Smith asks Tommy Lee Jones, "What is that?" And he says, "Those are all the resident aliens that we know of. They're here, and we watch them, 24/7." So I'm convinced that all of that is here and it's happening now. I don't believe that Capricorn 1 told the truth that all this stuff happened on backlog. I think, if anything, that was Hollywood working with the government to hide what's actually going on, and thought maybe we were stupid enough that if we said it was going on in the backlot at Universal in the dark when no one was there, we would believe it. And they can't believe that that's the only thing that's going on, because even Elon Musk's SpaceX launches from Florida and Texas. It's obvious that something's going up in the air. It's obvious that something is leaving the planet. Well, we hope that something is leaving the planet. I don't want.
You can't tell me that amount of money that he spends on his rockets. And there was a couple of tests he had to run where he actually had to cause the rocket to explode in midair to see how things worked and so forth. So I mean, obviously he has insurance to cover damage, stuff like that. But when you look at our weaponry, especially our fighter pilots, our planes and so forth, there's different shapes and how they operate. We're getting that technology from from aliens. I mean, that's the only way that I can explain how we're able to find these ways of developing weaponry and so forth to do what we're doing. But with the pyramids and stuff that's still being found, and all the architecture is being found underwater, underground, that's here. I just think that they're here. They're living amongst us. They may be helping individual companies to produce a product that's going to enable and help speed things up for the initial contact with a alien species. I think that time is coming.
I've heard plenty of stories on people trying to explain the pyramids over the years, and I'm sorry, but I don't care how many times you think an Egyptian slave handler beat the back of Jewish men, that they were able to carry and move those stones just to the base and then go up. I said, although I haven't really looked for any proof of it, that I believe those 3 pyramids were spaceships that came here and landed, and at some point maybe were supposed to leave, but if they're as far ahead in technology over us, then maybe those 3 things aren't leaving, and they're just, one is Tutankhamun's home, and maybe he doesn't want to leave. But I just think it would be better if the government, and not just Biden's government, but Trump's government and Obama's government for 2 terms, and whoever was before him, and whoever was before him, and probably down to Washington, if they just came clean on what's going on I think they would find that people would probably just accept it and go back to their daily lives and not be bothered by it. Because what do you think the reaction is going to be when Jeff Bezos uh, sits down everybody at an Amazon convention one year and just says, "Hey, I got to explain something to you. I came from Zamar in the 294th Arrow Galaxy, where we dealt with all the problems that you're having now, and eventually, you'll catch up with us." I don't know if I believe that eventually we will catch up with us, because if they went through all the wars, if they destroyed their planets and took all the resources out of them to the point where 500 years of oil isn't going to be enough, and we can't wait 500 years for it to refill and this and that and the other stuff. I just don't know. There's obvious some evidence of smarter life is watching us, because I think really that's what the electric car is. Do I think they have worked out all the bugs? Do I think it's safe? Do I think that Detroit is ever going to embrace it in place of fossil fuel cars? No. But do I think it's supposed to be, you drive to work, and rather than looking for a space to work, it folds up into George Jetson's briefcase and you carry it inside? Yeah. Is it possible? Yeah. But I hope before it gets to that you just work at home anyway. Mm-hmm. I think that's going to happen in the future. I don't know if it will be a U.S. government thing that will happen, but I just you won't be locked down in the sense of not being able to leave your house, but you'll be locked down in the sense that your 8-hour-a-day job is at home, and if you can get one of those jobs, great. I don't really know. I don't really know. It's 11:06.
It's 11:06.
We can go on for a little bit if you want. Otherwise, we got to work.
So, no, I got to get going. I got some things I want to get done.
Okay.
So look forward. I got some neat things with the UFOs. I want to try and. Jerry has offered to create some reels for me to advertise what I want to be doing. So I can get him some stuff, and he's gonna throw some stuff together for me.
Cool.
But that's coming. It's gonna be a work in progress. But
and for those who don't know, Jerry is Jerry Michaels, the host of the American Rebellion, which is now on Rumble and Wimkin, and I watch it on Wimkin. And I post Boogie podcasts on Wimkin. But make sure you are watching. If you watch the American Rebellion on Facebook, it's even better on Wimkin and Rumble.
Yep. Yes, well, I'm going. It was great being here again. So let's continue the progress. And
come back Wednesday, and we'll actually do a Wednesday morning caffeine the way we should have done this one. Although I kind of like this one.
Yeah,
I like this one. What I've noticed is that we really need four people to.
Yeah, we need to have more people to bounce off.
To do it, yeah, we need to have more people so that someone is always dropping something into the conversation rather than feeling like one person has to cut off the other person.
Yeah.
And, where I have to cut everybody off.
As long as one person knows that he has to share the airtime with other people, it'll be good.
Hey. You are more than welcome to equal access. And,
I just don't like getting interrupted. Oops.
Okay. Well, I will make sure that I will make sure that on Wednesday you get equal time to talk. I will script myself and time myself so I know how much of the hour I'm going to use in advance.
There you go.
Or we'll put red and green lights on your desk, and when the red light is on, that means I talk. And when the green light is on, that means you talk. Just make sure you don't fall asleep for 4 hours with your green button on, because if you do, the
Yeah.
radio station will fire you.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's true. You speaking from
Yeah.
experience, are you?
I am speaking from very experience.
Oh, God.
I am speaking from very experience. They did
Talk
not
to
like
them.
my, well, the owner of this station, the owner, okay. All right, Randy Rhodes, always a pleasure. All roads lead to Home Genealogy Services. They are currently on Facebook. I'm sure at some point they will be everywhere else. Randy can be. I hope maybe he'll try it on Wimkin. I hope he will try it on Rumble. I hope he will try it on other places. Unfortunately, he did not have good luck with it on Streetlock. So, Streetlock, if you're watching through the Bull channel, you might not find it over there. You might have to
Yeah.
go someplace else. All right,
Toodles.
Randy, always a pleasure. You doing it or not? Genealogy Services, Randy Rhodes. In as little as 1 hour, he can go back at least 5 generations and give you a ton of information on your family and help you decide whether or not he could continue working. It is $250 a month. That's a flat rate for monthly service. You get hours a day and months worth of time. And Randy lives and breathes and sleeps this stuff. I mean, if he is working on your stuff at his desk and he goes to bed, actually into his bed, he takes his iPad and iPhones and other stuff with him. And if he wakes up in the middle of the night, he will he will work on it if he thought of something that he needed to check on. Anyway, Danny Campbell, a pleasure to have you watching. Danny has now watched more Boogie with the Bull broadcasts than anybody else in the history of Boogie with the Bull. It's always a pleasure to have Danny watching. As I said, the views are kind of leveling off on morning caffeine on Monday and Wednesday at 10 a.m. So I'm not sure. We will try to push them harder. We will try to expand them to other other places and include those other networks. So if you're watching on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel over on Streetlock, Boogie with the Bull YouTube live chat on Streetlock, watching over there, and I actually said good morning. So you can, in fact, be part of the fun. People on Streetlock, if you're interested in being on the broadcast, please let me know, and you're more than welcome to be a part of the fun. And we won't spend as much time bashing Facebook as we often do. This is a presidential election year, and as I always say, that probably before the presidential election, they might set the algorithms so that you can't see me even more, or maybe even block me until after the election, or who knows at this point. I don't really care. We are going to start adding destinations. I promised YouTube, excuse me, I promised Rumble, and I promised Wimkin, and I promised a few others. We did try Wimkin this morning. You can watch us live on Wimkin right now, but you cannot be in the Believable YouTube live chat if you're watching. So what we are going to have to do is probably connect up with Wimkin so that you'll be able to be in the live chat if you're over on Wimkin. I think we have to do the same on Rumble. I don't think we can put you in the Boogie with the Bull. We can't redirect you to the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel and have you in YouTube live chat. I don't think it's allowed over there. So we will get Rumble added. The Boogie with the Bull local Rumbles channel is already set. All we have to do is just give them a means of taking money from us every month, and we have that. And we sat down and done it. Rumble is where we want to be. Whitman is where we want to be. Streetlock tried today, and we're there. So again, if you're on Streetlock and you're watching a Boogie with the Bull broadcast, you are more than welcome to be in the live chat. And you are also more than welcome to be part of the Tuesday and Thursday evening, 7 p.m. broadcast, Believe in the Rule, Tuesday night, Thursday night live, and or part of the Monday and Wednesday. Maybe this will revitalize the Monday and Wednesday, 10 a.m. morning caffeine broadcast. On Friday, it's Red Friday with Bill Muckler and Jen Woodruff and myself for the time being, and that's what we're doing on Fridays. And a rare Saturday morning Believe in the Bull at 10 a.m. Saturday is not too far rare, much longer. We will bring it back, and sometimes we get a lot of views, and sometimes we don't. But that's what we do, and that's what we're going to do. So, Vicky Engel, I don't want to say Engelkey, but Engelkey Davidson, Vicky Engelkey Davidson, if I butchered the second name, please let me know, and I will apologize, is watching. Danny Campbell, as I said, is watching. William Rayfield is watching. David Pfluger is watching. I haven't seen David Pfluger on my Facebook in quite a long time, which means maybe they're finally loosening up my restriction. I did wake up in the middle of the night and I went over to my support inbox, and I think I finally deleted 20 or 30 posts that Facebook wanted me to take down. Sometimes you just have to give in to try to do that to improve things, improve your visibility on Facebook. And it just means that everything that was taken down is available on other places and you can see it. So when we're live on Facebook right now, when we're live right now, it is on the David Wilson profile here on Facebook, and in as many groups as we think it is appropriate to put us into. Sometimes when we're not just doing conservative patriot politics for the whole broadcast, I will stick it into the million groups because that's not what they want. And sometimes I will let them decide anyway. But if you did watch today's broadcast, please feel free to take it and post it anywhere you want on Facebook. But if you get a message from an admin or a moderator, please don't. Then please don't. We just don't want to anger anybody. We want to keep visibility up on Facebook as long as we can. Matter of fact, let me try something right here before I say goodbye. Boom, go in there. Whoops, that wasn't supposed to happen. We'll go here, we'll slide down. 46 people are watching Believe in the Monday Morning Caffeine right now. That'll probably change. It might hit up into the low 80s, upper 70s, low 80s, and then climb from there. It really doesn't matter. If one person watches and they hear something and they think about it and they agree with it, then that is okay. If one person hears something and they don't agree with it, then I hope they're on the next Believe in the Bull in the live chat or on the broadcast to call us on it and share their views. Anyway, you've been watching Boogie with the Bull Monday Morning Caffeine, a copyrighted presentation of the No Budget Broadcasting Company. And as Randy said, we apologize for using any copyrighted thing of anything in the course of this broadcast. If we did, it's under fair use, which I think is part of 230, Section 230, if not, it's up in there somewhere. The fair use says that if you take it and you use it, and you use it the way that it was intended to use, and you talk about it the way it was intended to be talked about, then it's okay. Unless, of course, you post on your broadcast, but you can't do that. So if someone does include video or something in a broadcast that says you need permission to share any part of that broadcast, then we won't use it. And I take responsibility if anyone links anything into the broadcast that we didn't have permission to have. But anyway, none of that is really important. Life is too short. Anyway, I'm Dave Wilson. You're out. Thank you for letting me abuse your time. In this WB's victory, the Disbelievable broadcast is going to come to an end. And